Hello, welcome back to Beauty Bees and welcome to spring. I believe that yesterday was actually the first day of spring, and thank goodness, because this winter has been so long and just so much. I'm glad we can finally move past that. And because it is now the second day of spring, it's time for my winter favorites. I have chosen to do these videos seasonally because I want it to be more about techniques, more about colors, and less about individual products. And my makeup doesn't change that much from month to month. So, with that out of the way, let's get into my makeup favorites. The first has been mixing my face products. So, what I grabbed to show you are these two Tarte products, a blush and a bronzer, and I have liked so much using, say this blush on my cheeks and then mixing the blush and the bronzer together to apply over the rest of my face. Why am I holding this up? You know what blush looks like. You've probably been on a beauty channel before. Anyway, I really like how it ties the face together. I think that for my coloring, mixing blush in with the bronzer makes it look a little bit more natural and like something that actually could have come from my skin. I've also really been liking doing the same thing with highlighters, either mixing my blush and my highlighter to create a glowy blush, and mixing bronzer and highlighter, both to lighten up the bronzer a little bit, as well as just to add a little bit of all over glow. And actually, you know what? This isn't really a predictions for the future video, but I think that this summer, so really more late spring, once we start seeing a bunch of summery releases, that we're going to see a lot of really glowy bronzers. Like, if last year was the year of the glowy blush lighter, I think this is the year of the bronze lighter. I'm just calling that now. I also really think that it helps to make the face look like sort of a unified whole. You don't have the blush and highlighter that are truly separate. Your blush and your highlighter are mixed, and then you might have other highlighter along the cheekbones, sort of in the same way that using your highlighter or your blush or your bronzer on your eyes can really tie everything together. I think this does something very similar. It also lets you have a much wider variety of products than you actually own. If you have 3 blushes and 2 highlighters, well, you have not only the 3 blushes and the 2 highlighters individually, but you have 6 combinations of blush and highlighter to mix together. And I've really been enjoying exploring those different possibilities within my collection, and I see myself continuing to do that going forward. I have one lip favorite, and this is a very specific color. This is the Bite Power Move Creamy Matte Lip Crayon in Añejo. And let me give you a swatch of this. I actually bought this as part of a set, and this was the lipstick that I just assumed I would not get any use out of. I really did want the other 2 colors and assumed that they would work really well for me, and they do. But this was the unexpected star of the show. I think this is beautiful. It's just deep enough and just brown enough to be very different from anything else I own, but this mauve undertone that it has quite a strong mauve undertone, really makes it super wearable. But brown lipsticks that I've bought previously have just never worked for me. They've always been a little too warm and they just don't look right on my face. The really strong mauve undertone that this has made it a lot more wearable and a lot more flattering on me. I think this looks actually quite pretty. I find that I can wear it with a variety of different looks. It is just neutral enough that I can get away with it if I'm wearing even a little bit of colorful eye makeup, but it's also bold enough that I feel like it can add a little bit of something to an otherwise very neutral look. This is super versatile. It's a beautiful color. I don't love the formula on this. It feels very nice going on the lips. It's very creamy. However, I find that it doesn't wear particularly well throughout the day. So once I am done with this, and it probably won't take me, all that long in the big scheme of makeup using, because that is how much I have left, I think that I will search for a similar color but in a different formula. This winter has been the season of green eyeshadow for me. It's not that I disliked it before. I mean, I thought it was pretty, but I'd never worn it super often. I think I credit my newfound love of green eyeshadow on this mint shade from my NYX Ultimate Utopia palette. I rolled this into my Pan This Eyeshadows project, I think quite early in the winter, maybe very late in the fall. And it is this really pretty mint glitter. And just being forced is a strong word, but forcing myself to use it 30 times really made me gain a huge appreciation for this shade. And I found myself branching out into other greens. Probably most notably this matte sage green that's sitting right now over here, but also just a variety of different greens. I've been liking olives. I have a new sort of blue-green shadow stick that I've been using quite a bit. I think my favorite look, probably that I did all winter, was a green halo eye where I used quite a grass green shimmer over the entire lid, and then I popped that mint glitter right in the center. I thought that turned out so pretty, and I keep meaning to do that again, but it required me to wet my brush, and I don't know why, but I just refuse to do extra steps in the morning. It's like, yeah, I'll spend a half an hour putting on makeup because that's self-care, but apparently walking 8 feet to the bathroom to wet a brush is too much work for me. But I need to just woman up and do it because the end result was so pretty, and I think that I would really enjoy wearing that a little bit more often. My other eyeshadow favorite for this season is actually on my eyes right now. I have been really appreciating just a very quick, easy, neutral eye. The way I've generally been doing that is just putting some light shimmery shade all over the lid, blending it out with a brown, putting that same brown quite lightly under my eyes. I've been wearing my makeup for like 11 hours at this point, and I took a nap in it, so I'm not sure there's anything left under my eyes anymore, but there was at the beginning of the day. And then I will finish off by using a black eyeshadow just on an angled liner brush and putting that very close up against my lash line. I had a lot more occasions over the past 3 months where I had to dress somewhat professionally than I have really ever previously, and that was definitely a go-to look. It was something that I felt that I looked nice in. It's something that I felt like I looked like myself in, but something that was a little bit more polished than maybe what I generally choose to wear. One hair thing that I've been really enjoying, I got this for Christmas. It looks like a medieval torture device of some kind, but it's a wave iron. This one's from Bedhead, but I believe there are quite a few different options available. A heated iron that you clamp in the same way that you would a straightener, but it gives you these quite chunky, quite textured waves, and I've been really enjoying that. I've never been good at using a curling iron. I don't know, anything to do with hair really, I just can't figure out. I don't know what it is, but I can't do it. This though, I will quite often use if my hair is doing something really funky when I get up in the morning. This is quite quick. It heats up in about, I don't know, a minute. I usually take that time to just apply some heat protectant and brush my teeth, and by the time I'm done with that, it's ready to go. I don't have a ton of hair. I have not very long hair. I mean, it's shoulder length, and I have quite fine hair, though probably about medium thickness. It takes me like 2 minutes maybe to clamp all the way across my head, and it fixes anything really goofy that's been going on with my hair. So I really like this. I don't see myself ever becoming someone who does their hair every day. I just don't care that much, but I have been using this pretty regularly just to fix things, and I'm really glad that I received this for Christmas. I have really been enjoying it. Okay, so in these videos, I always set myself a goal for the next season, and my goal for winter was to figure out how to do a cut crease. Now, I did practice this. I probably did it, I would guess 10 or 11 times over these 3 months, so about once a week. Not great, but certainly more than I ever had done, and I can't say that I've gotten very good at it. I tried. I'm definitely better than when I started, but I don't think that is going to be something that I do very often going forward. However, I did get better, and if I do decide someday that cut creases are totally my style and something I want to do all the time, I think that I would not be walking around looking ridiculous. So, progress. In these next 3 months, I really want to learn how to use bronzer effectively. I feel like I've been making some headway just the last couple weeks in this, but I feel like I've talked about this a few different times on my channel, but for years, for probably 3 years, I owned one bronzer. It was this Tarte Park Avenue Princess Mini. It looks barely used because you know why I had one bronzer? Because I was keeping it as a placeholder to remind me to never buy bronzer because I never use it. I owned a few different bronzers over the years, and I didn't feel that any of them were particularly flattering on me. So when I bought this one and eventually decided that it by itself was not particularly flattering on me, I just told myself that I was never going to buy another one, but I was going to keep this one to get rid of the temptation. Now, the last few months, I've really been more interested in it. I think my overall makeup application has just gotten significantly better over probably the past year to 2 years, and I want to dip back into bronzer. I want to use this quite consistently over the next 3 months, really see what I can get away with, see if I can make that sun-kissed glow work for me, and hopefully I'll be able to enjoy a very bronzed summer. So I think that is it for my seasonal favorites video. I hope you'll let me know what you've been really into these past few months. I really enjoy hearing what types of products and tips and techniques and colors people have been really enjoying. And I hope you will consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed. I would really love to have you. Thanks again for watching, and I hope I'll see you next time. Bye!